What's up guys, this is Balázs from Racing Brick. This is a set for adults. This is a set for 7-year-old kids. What the heck is going on here? So, today I will talk about something that was bothering me for a long time now, and you probably heard this multiple times from me in my reviews, but I think it really deserves a dedicated video: how LEGO is messing up their age recommendation system nowadays. I will use primarily these two sets, the LEGO Ideas 21326 Winnie the Pooh set and the Marvel 76200 Bro Thor's New Asgard set. I think the problem is pretty obvious for the first sight. This one is an 18 plus set with adorable characters from our childhood tales, and this one is a 7 plus set replicating a scene from a PG-13 movie where Thor is drinking beer and tequila all day while playing Fortnite. So we've got a couple of mysteries to discuss here: how this one can be a 7 plus set and why this one is for adults. First of all, I don't want to sound like a hypocrite. My son was also watching Marvel movies before he was 13, but definitely not at the age of 7. I also know there are like zillions of toys for kids with Marvel characters. Now let's take a look at all the LEGO sets. As you see, it starts with Duplo, and almost all of them has a 6 plus, 8 plus or 9 plus age rating. There's a single 14 plus set, the new Benatar. Here the age rating clearly indicates the complexity of the builds, which was the case in the past few decades for all LEGO sets. The higher the age rating, the more difficult the build is. It went up until 16 plus, which was the territory of the big Technic and Creator Expert sets. Ever since the 18 plus category was introduced, that one does not indicate the complexity anymore. These sets are not 18 plus because they are that difficult to build, but according to some wise marketing people, they could be appealing for adults. Adults, but not AFOLs. If you're not familiar with the term, AFOLs are adult fans of LEGO, collectors and builders who know exactly what they want and really don't care about the age rating. So, AFOLs are not the target audience of the 18 plus sets. LEGO wants to make this appealing to casual builders who have the money to buy them, who are looking for a display piece and not too complicated building experience. So, here comes a little scene with Thor, Korg and Miek playing Fortnite, drinking beer and tequila and eating pizza all day. It's a fairly small set with only 265 pieces. A quick and easy build does not take longer than 20 minutes to build. From a complexity perspective, the 7 plus rating is totally fair. But should this really be a 7 plus set? Sure, as a room with a cool Marvel characters, it is perfectly fine for any kid. But it has tons of references from the movie, and lots of them are not really appropriate for small kids, I think. We've got empty bottles everywhere, and I don't think they had apple juice in them. The wooden beer keg even has some beer in it. Korg is playing Fortnite. Luckily, the screen is too small, so Noobmaster69 did not fit on it. Again, don't get me wrong, I love the set, the characters and all the tiny details. The Stormbreaker's pizza boxes, slices of pizzas everywhere, the couch, all the small details around the room. There's even a cookie under the couch. But I still don't think this particular set should be rated as 7 plus just because it is small and it has Marvel characters. Let's put the Winnie the Pooh set next to it. This one is obviously bigger, it has 1265 pieces. It does require more time and skills to assemble, but just for comparison, before the new system, similar idea sets were 10 plus or 12 plus sets, like the Flintstones or the Old Fishing Store. And the reason for those was really the skills to build, because as a play experience, it is totally appropriate for much smaller kids. My 4-year-old daughter loves to play with it. Just look at all these adorable characters, I really like how they look and they are very much playable for some nice storytelling. The whole set helps with that. We have plenty of details already on the outside, like the campfire, the honeypots, the log that even has a spot to sit on, the mushrooms, the tiny brick-built snail, and we did not even go to the door that again has tons of things to discover. The oak tree is huge and impressive, and it has the beehives and the bees that can even fly around the hives. The interior of the cottage is also very impressive. I won't talk about all the details, but it is really worth to explore. So, why does it have to have this ugly black box, while even the instructions look like a beautifully designed book for kids? Well, because this is an idea set, and someone at LEGO made a decision: all idea sets will be released with the 18 plus age recommendation and this box design. That was the fate of the previous Creator Expert sets as well. That's the reason why all cars and other sets like the Bonsai Tree, the Discovery Shuttle, and everything else is strictly labeled as 18+. Another example is the Technic team, where the most complex builds previously had a 16+ age rating. Then came the 18+ category, and the first Technic set that got it was the Lamborghini Sian. An 18+ supercar that cannot do anything else than looking nice sitting on the shelf? Okay. Then came the Ferrari 488 and recently the Ford F-150 Raptor. Yeah, they are the budget versions of the 1.8 supercar series, smaller and quicker builds, minimal functions. But here is the Caterpillar D11 Bulldozer, a Control Plus set that is clearly meant to be played, and it also got the 18+ badge. Why? The Leap Hair was 12+, for God's sake. To show the level of confusion, Creator Expert is still listed on LEGO.com as a theme, although no new sets get that badge anymore. Well, except the baby blue Fiat 500, but that's really an exception. We were informed earlier this year that instead of Creator Expert, this theme should be called LEGO for Adults, but this term does not appear anywhere on LEGO.com. Instead of this, there is an interest called Adults Welcome, which is more like a marketing slogan, but it has almost all the bigger Technic sets as well. So, let's try to sum it up. LEGO is desperately trying to expand the customer base beyond kids and AFOS, trying to address adults and show how cool it is to build a LEGO set for fun, as a relaxing activity, or simply as a DIY display piece. There's really nothing wrong with this so far, I hope they succeed. But meanwhile, they managed to mess up the simple and straightforward age recommendation system, forcing whole product categories like Ideas or Creator Expert under the meaningless 18+ label and totally inconsistently labeling sets in other themes like Technic. At the same time, there are sets like this little Marvel one that are rated based on the standard system, and the subject would recommend an older audience. I really hope folks at LEGO will figure out how to clean this whole thing up, because at this point it is really confusing. Please let me know in the comments what is your opinion. Do you care about the age recommendation at all? Did you hear anyone complaining about it, or is it just me? I hope you liked this video and it deserves a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe and smash the notification bell as well. There's a cool detailed building review coming of the CAT D11T Bulldozer later this week. See you next time, bye bye.